The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, let's get the hell out of this place. Garbage dump. Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Well, have you tried the door? Rattle, rattle. It's locked, but we have a way to open this door. Oh, wait, we do? I must have forgotten about that. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? That thing. Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room. Oh, that's right. She had that, master key that opens all the doors. Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Well, let's have at it. Hey, Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Well, we just asked her that. Well, actually, no, we asked her if she still had the key. Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Well, at least there weren't trap doors that tried to close in around you. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Uh-oh. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, and ultimate death. Deadly life. That is a long-ass title. I don't know how I'm going to shorten it. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. I would have suggested the Kyoko gone first. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. You weren't nervous before. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So, Kyoko, what are your hobbies? So, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said that you're the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I came from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. See, she's just like Batman. She is the Knight. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
and yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
there's something I want to say to him, though. What?
I...
No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember it myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future.
However,
But he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
But there's one thing. One thing I can never forgive. It sounds an awful lot like you're blaming him right now. Really?
so
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However-
Doesn't sound that way. But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family, in order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence, and after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Trapdoor. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so. And she was right. Surprise, surprise. Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. I'm not really sure I'd be able to climb that ladder. I'm terrified of heights. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So, how you doing? So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
Soda.
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words.
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However.
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out, and it's not like we can just run away. You know, let's just ask him if it's okay that we escaped. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. Well, he knows anyway. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So.
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help us with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Well, to the gym. Can we fast travel there? Hold on. Gymnasium. Okay. Oh, we can. I didn't think the game would actually let us do that. Monokuma, you're going to let us out of here.
Well now.
Hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but it is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, just let me say one thing.
no.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose? You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made that choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter Ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did. So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? Huh, and that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto? And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
how
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts. And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto right now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. Yeah!
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. Yeah! If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
That's what we have
then
to
I
do.
suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
it's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Yeah!
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Silence. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Time for me to turn into Teddy. Now, what you suggested might be plausible, but it certainly would make for one honey of a climax. Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbelievable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory? Let's have one final grisly showdown. You agreed. Then we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good, then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school, then you win! But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
Faux show? I just want to confirm. That is what you said, right? And that's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? Then it's a part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why do you go quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? Huh, I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Alright then. So there was that. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. So, what do you think? Well, maybe we should say hi to our friends, the guys that condemned me to execution. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because...
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let their guard down, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
So...
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
Listen,
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words...
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason.
So...
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost, us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
It would seem...
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words...
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that and to try to prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But Is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led the Mastermind to revealing their weakness. What?
In other words...
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
At the very least...
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
Indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all the proper rules, to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form. It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge.
However...
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance, because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
Wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However...
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
Correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey.
But before we begin our final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However...
Is that really possible? Huh? Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
Shall we...
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? So I guess we're gonna fast travel to the dorms. Oh, okay. And suddenly, we were greeted with... What the... What? You again. I think Monokuma has had a fatal error. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Monokuma.exe has crashed. Jeez, what the heck?
However...
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
Did everybody...
Guys!
So nobody really noticed that.
There's no two ways about it. That's
Nobody
Makoto.
noticed Monokuma right there, just like spouting off nonsense.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Well, that's nice to hear after you survived an
Sure,
execution.
but You're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there, all my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up. Oh, stop crying, you little bitch. What's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away! Shoo! I'm surprised that Toko thinks we smell bad, considering she doesn't bathe. And in a flash, my tears dried up. Yeah, I can see why. So I guess, who are we gonna talk to first? Let's talk to Blackula. Byakuya. I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you escaped execution? It was alter ego. He saved my life.
That's
No, not too many people can say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. Okay. Talk to, Toko. You stink. Are you rotten? Rotten, physically, mentally, every way you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. This smell is so smelly. Ew. Ew. No. No. Go away. Leave. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. She seems happy for some reason. I feel like we should go take a bath. Like right now. Oh, no, not the kitchen. So, what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured that since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And? No dice. All the rooms that were locked before were still locked. So there wasn't any new areas. Then where can we go find new clues?
Yo.
Makoto! What was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world.
No?
Did you talk to her? Who? Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? Hello, this is Miss Cleo. Oh god, is he referencing that fucking, like, psychic, crazy psychic bitch? I will read into the crystal ball and tell you your future, lass. Actually, no, she was Jamaican. Why am I saying it? I don't know how I got Jamaican and Scottish mixed up. There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial.
Huh?
Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here! For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery? But we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh, no.
Everyone?
I hate
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is, and how they killed Mukuro, and all the school's mysteries... It's a pretty freaking tall order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Kyoko, why do you have to be a downer right now? Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Yeah, they did try to kill Makoto. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began. are those 16 students. Alright, because of that. Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why?
So in other words,
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
in other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... one of us. There were 15 of us here in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them.
that's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now?
What?
You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active? Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
But
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right.
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Pretty much. I don't see... It doesn't matter how you do it. I don't think any sort of AI would be able to respond that efficiently to people. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, I guess that's true. Well, maybe, but still. Uh-oh. It's bedtime, children! Go the fuck back to sleep!
This is a school announcement.
I'm very
You
bored and I'm
figured
very
this out
drunk.
by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
Yes, you avoided the
So,
bad
in
ending
name
of the visual novel.
fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
The ending where your waifu dies.
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit.
And I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but yeah,
We can all
the
meet
bad
up at
ending
the
is if you
class
choose
trial,
to,
okay?
not, if you choose to pursue the lie that Kyoko told and have her killed. Which is, I have no idea what kind of monster wrote that scenario, but he needs to be dealt with accordingly. I'll just say that. Okay then. How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my
At this
family.
point, I can rely on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master! He didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream. Or coffee. Coffee with cream, but without the cream. You just said it had cream. What? You're totally useless! So, bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go off by myself too. Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. I'm going to contact the great Miss Cleo. Yeah. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really going off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
but
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know.
'cause I
But
mean,
up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. No? You've pretty much just been... Actually, well, Yeah, you're right. You haven't really been useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto? Nah, that's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was surprisingly in high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Indeed. Oh, I wasn't sure if he said that out loud or he thought that. Although I wouldn't really be surprised if Kyoko could somehow read our thoughts. So, you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our own searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so...
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then,
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. Investigate! I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed at a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So, where should I start my investigation to figure out who the killer... Or who killed her, whatever. I accidentally kind of skipped that. I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder. Which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Places to check has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Huh? I guess first things first, we should, I keep getting the button that shows points of interest and the map button mixed up. I guess we should check, let's not check the second floor, let's check the, what do you say, the biolab? That was on the, I'm pretty sure that was on the 4th floor. Actually, I think the points of interest are already highlighted. That works. Actually, let's go to the headmaster's room. Since our favorite person, Byakuya, is in there already. What are you doing here, you urchin? I didn't tell you to come in here. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Ah, Makoto, it's you. Oh, Byakuya. Okay, then. Let's just leave it at that.
Come on.
Hey, Makoto.
Not possible.
Are you ignoring me? You think I'll forgive that just because you're you?
Such.
When we get out of here, remember this moment. I guess I should talk to Byakuya then, because he's going to be a whiny little bitch if we ignore him. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? What do you mean, something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Well, I was about to look at that until you interrupted me. Class 78 student registry? It contains profiles for all of us, and Mukuro.
So in other
Apparently,
words,
Class 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Mukuro's profile in Kyoko's room.
I see.
That's right, it also mentioned Class 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in there along with
In
hers,
other words,
there can be no doubt Mukuro was a student here at Hope's Peak Academy, just like the rest of us. Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled. She must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. But what's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. The first page? Correct. Mukuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
So in other words...
In other words, when it comes to this profile, there was more information that Mukuro still didn't have. Or more information about Mukuro. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? It seems to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself. I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed through the report. Mukuro reappeared suddenly, and in the background an entity floats, close but just out of reach. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now, I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Mukuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about all this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair. And I need to pay attention to Mukuro's behavior too. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir. When she entered Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. That fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Mukuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair? I don't think there can be any doubt about it now. But wouldn't that mean Mukuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why? Why would they kill Mukuro? Plus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Mukuro was capable of. They would have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means the Mastermind is even stronger than Mukuro was.
What?
What's wrong, Makoto? Huh?
That's fine.
You seem to be lost in thought, but I should probably point out one other thing. There's another important bit of information within that file you should note. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl perhaps you've never seen before. A girl who seems to be included as part of our class 78. That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds, and it even lists her vitals, 31, 22, 32. Well, what do you think? What do I think? Are you asking me, like, if she has a nice body? You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is, maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse, and maybe you'll think, oh, could that me? Wait, is he trying to say... There's a chance the body isn't actually Mukuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems all but possible. But it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right? That's all I was trying to say, but what you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. Byakuya seems to do that with everybody. Mukuro's profile has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of advice for me to use, so I suggest you pay attention. Advice? For me? You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, she's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her. Huh? The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch? But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't, as you will. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Yeah, Kyoko can't be trusted. She's proven that she's, very untrustworthy. That's definitely not just Byakuya's paranoia. The data lab, or the computer room. All we have in here are MacBooks, and fucking Mac desktops.
Makoto?
They're completely useless. Ah, Makoto, are you here to look around too? Is that what you're doing here? Yeah, I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door.
Yeah.
So I figured, if all the doors in school had been unlocked, that one should have been open too, right? Although I couldn't bring myself to open it. Cause it might explode, right? And that'd really suck, so you open it. I'm sure she doesn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. Because she probably is. Well, let's try the explosive door. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. Hina raced over to a nearby desk and hid underneath it. Well, thanks. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than I expected. Uh-oh. Yep, this must be Monokuma's control room. There was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was, whoa, this place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. What the fuck is all this? What is this device? It looks like some kind of control panel. It's really over the top though, like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Hifumi'd probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpit. So the Monokuma room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit? Then could that mean... Alright, let's start poking at it or whatever. I'm gonna start pressing buttons. Hold on, you can't just... or whatever, something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Huh? Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? I'm not totally sure, but I think it was that one. The button that says Data Center. Data Center? I took a good look at the control panel, and I saw a bunch of buttons with the name of a room next to it. And just like Hina said, there was one labeled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed. But the Data Center, that's right next door. The room we were just in, that's where the strange noise came from. I'd probably better check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I'm kind of scared out of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here. Okay, thanks for the vote of confidence there. I'm sure there's nothing strange in here. Did I just hear what I think I heard? Yep. Is that Monokuma? But he's completely silent. Hey! Grr! Grr! Give me all your donuts! Is that you, Hina? What? Oh man, busted. How did you know? Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera kind of setup? You don't even know what you're controlling? Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here. Ah, guess what I found? A self-destruct button. Whatever you do, don't push it. Aw, man. Were you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it and the control panel inside. Yep, we can control Monokuma. Aw, come on. Damn it, I wanted to talk to the Aoi controlled Monokuma some more. Aoi, what the fuck are you doing? Whoa, hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma. Huh? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now, it was Monokuma. Monokuma? What, for real? Yep, it looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. And this control room is totally separate from the data center area with the monitors. In other words, maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Kyoko's theory was right. But if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school this whole time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true... it's a very... Okay, we've already read this. Yep, there's 16 students. Then the mastermind, Monokuma's puppeteer, really is the 16th student. No, it can't be. There's no way, right? And we got the Monokuma control room. What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like that face you're making. Oh, no, it's nothing. Oh, okay. What about you? Is everything okay? Oh, well, it's just... This is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set traps or something? I can't say it isn't possible, but I really hope it's not true. So, like, you want to leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yeah, good point. We can't waste all our time standing around here. Okay, you want to get going? Yeah. Well, let's leave the creepy control room. Oh, fuck. As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that? Ah, the door! It just locked on its own. What? My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. You're right, it's locked, but why? Of course it's locked, because the data center is now restricted. Monokuma? Hey, no fair, you can't just go around restricting whatever you feel like. It's for your benefit. Because if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just up and stopped moving. Then, that room. As you may have guessed, that's where my controls are. So right now you're being operated by someone in that room. Correctamundo. But that doesn't make any sense. We were just in there and we didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch? No way. The hatch on the floor? Too bad. That was your one big chance, and you blew it. Of course, that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace. He's gone, but was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure. Then, when I said we should leave, well, that hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault. Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left. You're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving. Okay, I'm gonna run around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice, you've got me all motivated again. Okay, I'm out. See you later. Nina took off at a full sprint. And I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. Okay. I think we've checked every room on this floor. Because Nukuro's body is gone, so it wouldn't be in here. Huh? It's gone. Mukuro's body, yeah. It's not here. Yeah, because the body disappears after the trial, idiot. There's no more body. There's just the marks from the explosion. And then there's that giant plant that probably eats people. Okay, maybe we need to check the shed. Let's go check the shed. Maybe the body's inside the tool shed. I better check just to be sure. I didn't find anything close to a dead body. But if it's not in here either, then it must be. I have no idea where. But corpses aren't the only thing I need to check in here. There's one other thing. The tarp. A tarp played a key role in another case, so I'd better look into it. Yep, let's examine that tarp thoroughly. The killer used the tarp to keep the sprinklers from getting the body wet, which means the killer might have left some clue behind here. Huh? I didn't notice this before, but there's a small stamp on the corner of the tarp. It says Biolab? Then this originally came from the Biolab? Tarp has been added. Well, I guess that means we should go check out the Biolab. Well, oh yeah, right, it's at the end of the hall over here. He did say he unlocked all the doors. It's raw! It's fucking raw! Well, here I am in the biolab. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? Because they're storing dead bodies? I don't know. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. I've seen something like this before. Ah, that's it. I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does that mean this biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. Let's look at these specifically. There's some kind of weird machine or something. Oh, right, okay, yeah. There's blue lights. The ones on the left are left on, while the ones on the right are not on. The right-hand lights are off. That's actually an important clue, Makoto. But nope, I'm not gonna comment on that. There's a stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of those things lately. Okay. The desk? Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. It looks like an instruction manual. We offer an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. In addition to germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver, and the blue light will let you know that the automated systems have been activated. Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep a body as fresh as a daisy for as long as you need. In the unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate and an alarm will sound immediately. The exterior is stainless steel, and we do offer an optional leather upholstery upgrade package. This is the instruction manual for the fridge? Well, looking around, I think I get it. It seems clear to me now. It's some kind of makeshift morgue. Biolab's secret has been added. Right? And about those lights by each slot. Yep, now at least we know what they mean. It looks like it's set up so that when a slot is occupied, the blue light comes on. Which would mean inside each slot lit up in blue. Another one of the victims is... Biolab lights has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I can't let my emotions take control right now. There's only one thing I can do for everyone who's died, and that's defeat the mastermind. And to do that, I have to continue my investigation. I don't have any other option. Well, I guess we've already checked the biolab. At least I think that's pretty much everything. And the only other place that we should check out, I think, was the was it the dojo, I think? Yep, the only other area of interest here is it's the dojo. For some reason, Toko's in there. Toko, why aren't you with your boyfriend or your master? Well, he forgot the ball gag last night. So I'm mad. Oh, Toko. So this is where you were.
What do you want?
Am I so disgusting you want me to out of your sight? No, that's not it at all. I just thought that maybe you'd found a clue. Well, I haven't. I didn't find anything. Not one single clue. I figured since this place was related to the case, it would have something, right? But there wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Give it back! Give me back my precious time! Calm down, Toko.
What's your
Don't
problem?
tell me to calm down! Do you have any idea what I'm going through right now? When everyone finds out, they're gonna call me useless, good for nothing. Nobody's gonna say that. Master will. I'm not sure I can disagree with that. I don't want that! I'm sick of always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me? Well, I don't think there are any clues here, so maybe I'm gonna get going. Good idea. Let's just leave. Let's leave. Let's leave Toko to, be weird by herself. Okay, so we've checked everything on the 5th floor. We have checked everything on the... Alright, yeah, we've checked everything on the 4th floor. Is there anything? No, there's not anything on the 3rd floor. Oh, right, here's the stairs. I was wondering where the hell these were. The gate's open. We can finally check out the 2nd floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it. Those are some fancy looking stairs. Oh, this isn't so fancy. This is the 2nd floor of the dorms. It looks more like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. Yeah, it does definitely give off that impression. Oh, look, hey, there's still... That's kind of weird to me, though. If the blood looks like that in the game, and the blood looks pink in like the cutscenes, then like what is the blood supposed to look like in that case? And girls' restroom. Why don't we go inside? This is the girls' bathroom. Even in a place like this, I can't bring myself to go in. Oh, come on, Makoto. Gotta muster up some courage. The fuck is that? A giraffe? Why is there a giraffe on there? This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for the Hope Speak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna come back here. We don't need to be in here yet. There's something we're gonna get pretty soon that we're going to need in order to get into some of those lockers, because some of them are locked and we can't get in there. This looks like an important room. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. It has a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room.
Indeed.
Whoa, Kyoko. I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. Huh? A regret? What do you mean by that? Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. Yep, instead, let's look into this guy's computer, or whoever's computer this is. There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster. Oh, come on.
It would seem...
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some info on the ultimate despair? There's not much, though. Nothing we don't already know.
In other words...
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair.
However...
And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there?
Whew.
But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete Kirigiri failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on.
Correct.
I see. That's a good outlook to have. The ultimate despair has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. That's, pretty creepy. So I guess most of the group was killed off, though, in the tragedy. The only one left is the, whoever's controlling Monokuma. Okay. Oh, wait. What is that? Huh? There's a strange gap in the wall. Is it some kind of design mistake or a construction defect or something?
So...
There's a gap here, but not just any gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A breeze?
Indeed.
There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space? Does that mean... You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
Indeed.
A very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password and the door should open right up.
However...
But I don't have a clue what that password might be. All we know is it's probably made up letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right, that's not really enough to go on.
It's true.
I looked through all the paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password.
Whew.
When I think of how much time I wasted on this... Jeez. So there's a hidden room that she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. And if Kyoko can't figure it out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait, there might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
What?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password. Knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it, just to be sure?
Well...
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. Well, she gave us her permission, so we might as well do it. Let's see. Brazzers.com. You know, I'm glad I've thought of trying Kyoko's name. But if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more.
Hey.
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. I collected myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, and as I finished typing it in... Beep Kern. Well, that worked. What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked.
Why?
I don't care. Why? Kyoko? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko? Oh no. Something tells me we're not going to like what we find in here too much. Hey, Kyoko? I may as well have not even been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. I got you a present. A present? Wrapped and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. It's got dildos in it. She was right, it was unusual, and she couldn't stop looking at it. No, not just looking, glaring. Huh? No other choice but to open it. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. It's a bomb! Okay.
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. Why? Do you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprising, probably. Huh?
It would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway...
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Okay, I'm gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approach the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside, and... Huh? Gah! Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. Oh shit. What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. Well, that's probably why they put it in there. I mean, who could have possibly imagined?
I see.
Just as I thought. What? What did you think exactly? Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones.
Wrong.
Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box? My father. Huh? What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box. Those bones. That body. That's my father. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for? Yep, and for those of you who don't know, her dad was that guy in the beginning of the game who was strapped to a rocket and went into the space ride thing. Or the space adventure, whatever it was called. Hold on, how can you know that? How can you know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
So...
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. Ah, God, the same fucking flashback again. We know. Hey, guess what, guys? There's 16 students. Did you know there's 16 students? Well, we might as well tell you again, there's actually 16 students. Alter Ego said that the headmaster is probably here in the school. But the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume
In other words...
that most likely my father was in this school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong, which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties. But was that all there was to it? I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. Hidden room present has been added. Well, now we have that creepy music playing throughout the game. Huh? This picture? It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko.
Why would
Don't
you?
show her that. Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past, and yet... Well, that just makes everything that much more depressing, doesn't it? To now find something like this. So, what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself, to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. And now he's abandoned me again. And this time he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko. And we have the photo of Kyoko and the headmaster. Well, this is awkward. Let's check his desk. The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission.
Hey.
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like. Are you sure?
Because...
Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay then, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... Huh? Is this... It's an e-handbook, right? It has a label on it that says, in case of emergency. I'd found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
In other words,
A handbook with no limitations given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that is. I think you're probably right.
it would.
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? Huh? But Kyoko, I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay? Headmaster's e-handbook has been added.
Hey,
Listen, Makoto. Huh? Can I ask you a favor? A favor? What is it?
so
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but
hey,
could you leave? Huh?
correct.
Just for a little while. I'd like to just be alone for a bit. Kyoko, don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little.
Just
I
a
need to
second.
get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you're going to say? If so, it's just a theory, and this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened and what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, understand. Then, I'll see you later. Well, not really going to be investigating anything else in there. Is she really okay? Kyoko, it must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. So find out what happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. The one leading the Hope's Peak staff, the one who finalized the plans to isolate you. That was the Hope's Peak headmaster. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. Well, it's definitely not the mastermind, but we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means the headmaster's true identity is... God damn, always they bring back this fucking scene, we know. Holy shit, that's like the 5th time? 15 of us met in the main hall. Add Mukuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead. Bloodlust. Yep, it's a lot of deaths. Even Mukuro. Even she's undeniably dead. Oh, Makoto, if you only knew. If you only knew that Mukuro, well, spoilers, but I am tempted to say it. So the ones still left alive are me, Byakuya, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. And then there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. You know, I'm wondering why... It's kind of weird, because he said all that out loud, so I'm wondering if Kyoko just, like, heard all his rambling. It's like, Kyoko... It's like, Makoto, what the fuck are you doing? I told you to leave. Why the hell is there a giraffe coming out of the locker? Is that, like, supposed to be some kind of symbolism? Or maybe somebody actually put a giraffe in their locker. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope. There's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the 2nd floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's just give it a try. I took out the handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then... No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. Wait, but what about that emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Okay, let's give it one more try. I took the emergency handbook and ran it across the card reader, and beep. Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we've got inside. This thing is practically empty. What the hell is that? There's just one thing, some kind of pocketbook? I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is. But there's some writing inside. It could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I'd better take a look. It looks like a girl's handwriting, and all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. Huh? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there, words I'd heard before. There's a plan to turn Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happened to be the headmaster and my father. He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world, to serve as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone. I can't imagine a worse father. So that was Kyoko's. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was, and I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She said she hasn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, the question marks spinning through my mind just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. Despair walks among us, and so we survive. There's a second despair. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? And we got the locker pocketbook. So is there anything else here we need to check? There's actually something in here. Oh hey, I think we all know whose locker this is. There's a crystal ball there. The locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably has organization problems in every part of their life. This is a crystal ball. Huh? A crystal ball? No, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. It's just not possible. But what if he did? There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order, and dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw. But the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. What? There was no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes, which would mean he attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to the school at the same time as the rest of us, and we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So, what is this notebook? And we got the locker notebook. Well, that's certainly, strange. But the more I see, the less sense it makes. Because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? A notebook that seems like it belongs to Hiro, and a pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. But if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward. And I have to believe in everyone. Well, time to get the fuck out of here. Uh-oh. It's time, everyone! Let the class trial begin!
This is a school announcement.
I'm getting bored!
Is everyone working hard? Is your investigation coming along nicely? Well then, since you're all giving it your best, your generous headmaster will give you a little hint.
Uh-oh.
For those of you who are interested, please make your way to the gym ASAP possible.
What? Now he wants to give us a hint? It's suspicious. There's no doubt about that. This could be a trap. But even knowing that, he said to go to the gym, right? Well, I guess we'd better do it. Oh, hey, hero. Makoto! Why'd you act so surprised? Oh, no reason. You heard Monokuma's announcement, right? Are you here to find out what he has to say? I just did, actually. I'm on my way out. You already talked to him? What'd he say? Listen, sorry, but I gotta go. Hiro, wait. There was no point in trying to stop him. He ran off like a frightened animal. Hiro? It was like he was trying to avoid me. I was hoping to talk to him about the notebook I found in the locker. Has he been hiding something this whole time? Only one way to find out. Hello there, sir. I have something to tell you in private. You're suspended, expelled. You can never set foot in the school again.
I am Monokuma!
Hello, welcome. Hello, are you ready for your final hint? Well, it just so happens to be in the envelope on the ground in front of you. The envelope? Alright. That piece of paper there. This must be the envelope. Well, pick it up. And just so you know, I won't be answering any questions about what you find inside. What? Don't worry, just get on with it. Yes, get on with it. Monokuma's cryptic words didn't make me feel any better, but I picked up the envelope. There's probably more pictures inside, and opened it. What I found was a single photograph. Well, it's a picture of all the Hope's Peak students. It featured a bunch of faces I recognized extremely well. It was everyone who'd come to Hope's Peak at the same time as me. Wait, but there's someone behind Sayako. She's the only one I don't recognize. No, you do recognize. She was in that fucking, in the student registry, Makoto. How did you not recognize her? Wait, that's not true. I do recognize her. That's right. When Byakuya and I were in the headmaster's room and we looked at that file. Mukuro Ikusaba? Then this girl is... Wait, why? Why is Mukuro here with everyone else? And even more than that. Just having everyone here pose like this is weird enough by itself. And we're all wearing matching uniforms. I don't remember anything like this. And now that I'm looking at it, it's not even everyone. I'm not in the picture. I'm the only one not there. The pictures has all 15 other students, but not me. But I guess that makes sense. After all, I don't remember ever taking a picture like this. I went to junior high with Sayaka, but the first time I met everyone else was when I arrived at Hope's Peak Academy. So it's natural for me not to be in this picture, but what's definitely unnatural is that everyone else is in this picture. I thought everyone was like me and didn't know each other until they got here. But if this picture is real, then could it be everyone else and just me? Everyone here except me is? How long are you gonna keep up this rambling soliloquy of yours, Hamlet?
What are you gonna do?
You're kinda getting in the way standing there, you know. So I mean, get out. But, I told you, I'm not fielding any questions. What kind of mystery would this be if I gave you all the answers? That'd be totally out of left field. I guess that means he's done talking. Damn it. Group photo has been added. Well, I guess we're pretty much done. So in the end, all I found in the gym was even more confusion. And with that confusion in hand, I left the gym dejected. How does that count as a hint? It just made me even more confused. Is that what Monokuma was going for? Did he put together a fake photo just to confuse me? But it looked so real, so full of life. How could anyone fake that? Which would mean everyone but me. Maybe I should just ask everyone directly. That should clear all this up. No, I have to clear all this up. Well, so I guess we're going to consult with everyone individually in that case. Where is everybody? They're probably like all gathered together in the cafeteria. Maybe. Yep. I guess, well, they're in the dining hall. Always in the dining hall. Let's go have some private time with Oi. Ugh. So this is where you've been hiding. Listen, I was hoping to talk to you. Makoto! Sorry, gotta go. What? She ran off so fast I didn't even have time to ask her to stop. Hina, why? Why won't you talk to me? And if you recall, Hiro acted the same way. Well, is there anywhere else we can go? I already talked to Oi. Actually, Oi isn't there anymore. There's the second floor, there's the third floor with nothing there, there's the... Oh, wait, no, that's the second floor. Never mind. We can trust Byakuya, right? Everybody can trust him. Byakuya's in the archive. What are you doing in there, nerd? Reading books? Nerd. Where'd he go? Oh, right, no, I forget. The archive and the library are two different things. I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey. Leave me alone. Oh, Byakuya. Actually, that's something I would think Toko would be more interested in reading. Listen, do you think we could talk? Byakuya?
That's enough.
I have nothing to talk to you about. Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Hey, Byakuya, wait. But of course he didn't. He just walked away. What the? Why was he acting like that? Like he was purposely trying to avoid me. I think everybody's acting like that. What the fuck's going on? Everybody hurts sometimes. Okay. Well, nothing on the third floor. The fourth floor? Nope. Fifth floor, maybe. Yes. Possibly. Why are we going to talk to him again? He ran away the first time. He's going to run away again. Don't talk to me. Oh. That's my purse. I don't know you. Hey, Hiro. Oh, Makoto. What's going on with you? Every time I see you, you freak out like that. No. Sorry, but I'm in a big hurry. Once again, he ran off like a terrified rabbit. Hiro, what's wrong? I still wasn't able to talk to him about the notebook I'd found. It was like he was avoiding me. It's like everybody's avoiding me. Like he was afraid of me. And it's like everybody's afraid of me. Why? That is the question, isn't it? Is there anywhere else we can go? Oh. Alright, we talk to Toko. She's our friend. She'll talk to us. I decided to visit the biolab one more time. And the first thing I saw when I got there. Oh hey, it's, was her. Passed out, again. Huh? Toko. Well, I don't know why the game does that. If you're, obviously you're going to examine her. Toko, are you okay? No. She's not dead, is she? Ah, nope, she's become genocide jail. Fuck. I'll never get used to that. Ugh! It's cold. It's super cold. It's so cold I think I might catch cold. If you keep taking naps in places like this, I'm sure you will. What? Was I asleep? Ah, I must have fainted again. I bet you were standing there staring at me, getting all excited, weren't you? No, I wasn't. Oh, then what? Hot and bothered? Straight up horny? Okay, so why did you pass out? I don't know. Last thing I remember was me waking up just now. What did you do to Miss Morose? Oh, that's right. Your memory stops and starts each time you switch. Bingo bazinga! We share some basic knowledge, but our memories are very much separate. And don't say it like it's a bad thing. It's a blessing as far as I'm concerned. Because even if she forgets something, I totally remember. So it's like double the memory. No, it's more like half. Genocide Jack's memory has been added to the truth bullets. But all I want to know right now is, where's my little darling? Tell me now, or I'll slit your throat. I don't know. I'm sure Byakuya is around somewhere doing his own investigating.
Yes.
By himself? I assume so. I knew it! I totally knew it! I'm a total pro when it comes to all things master. Anyway, I gotta hurry. I can't even imagine how lonely he must be right now. I feel very bad for Byakuya. Toko shot off, her eerie laughter echoing behind her. I totally forgot to ask her about the picture. I don't think we should ask her about anything, honestly. Well, there's no point asking Genocide Jack anyway. Besides, I have more important things to do right now. Why did Toko faint? There's gotta be some reason for it. And I think the reason is staring right at you, Makoto. The fridge, it's open. But I'm sure they were all shut tight last time I was here. That must be why she passed out.
Right.
Oh, Kyoko was here the whole time. She faints so easily. Kyoko?
Makoto.
It's getting late, isn't it? Are you okay?
Indeed.
I'm sorry I made you worry. No, you don't have to apologize.
Listen.
But listen, about this room. Oh yeah, it's
It would seem...
a morgue. Yeah,
I knew it.
I suspected as much. And Togo must have looked inside the fridge, seen what was in there, and well, there you have it. You knew she'd fainted?
Indeed.
I was on my way here when Genocide Jack came running past me. Oh, okay, so she wasn't here the whole time. I assumed she must have sneezed, but once I got inside, the real reason became clear.
It would seem...
I imagined she came here to investigate, and when she opened the slot there, that's when she saw the body in there and dropped like a bag of rocks. Why's everything gotta be so difficult with her?
Anyway,
we should just close it up. Don't want to leave it hanging open like that. Yeah, good idea.
Makoto.
Give me a hand with this. Kyoko approached the fridge, hands outstretched. But suddenly, she stopped. What's wrong?
Listen.
Maybe we should wait a second before closing it. Huh? How come? Because Mukuro's body is in here. Mukuro's corpse? Mukuro's body is inside the fridge?
I see.
Just like every other time, the Mastermind probably brought it up here while we were in the class trial. The Mastermind did it? Because they assumed we were doing the class trial over again, I guess.
So...
You may be right. Either way, now I can finally get a good look at the body. Oh, that's right. Kyoko didn't have a chance to look at the body during the last investigation.
Makoto.
I need to do my own examination of the corpse as soon as possible. I'm going to find a clue this time, and I'm going to grab the Mastermind by the tail. Okay, so what should I do?
So then...
You just stand there and be useless. Why don't you just wait over there? Wow, I was actually right. I'll let you know as soon as I'm finished. Just wait over there? That's it? So, what have you concluded about the body? I should ask Kyoko about that group photo. After all, she's in it too. Don't let me interrupt your investigation, but I wanted to talk to you about something. What is it? It's about the announcement Monokuma made earlier. You mean the one about a hint or something? I didn't take him up on that offer. Huh? Why not? The only reason he'd give us a hint at this point would be to confuse us, to cloud our judgment. I can solve this mystery on my own, without whatever hint he may have to offer. That's a good point. I wish I could go back and do the same thing, but what's done is done, I guess. Standing here looking at her, I don't think she's hiding anything from me. Is she right? Did the Mastermind forge that picture as a trap to confuse us? That's gotta be it. There's no other explanation. Well, what else can we really do in here? Look at the fridge, or the, storage. Yeah. It would seem the blue light comes on when a slot is occupied. So when someone's in there, the blue light comes on. Looking around, the number of lights that are on, including Mukuro's, there's 9 in all. 9. 9 lights? And we got biolab lights. Oh, okay, so that actually did something, at least. You know, I think I've seen a tarp like this somewhere before. Ah, it's the same one I found in the garden tool shed. And if I remember, that tarp, it had a stamp on it that said Biolab. And that's the tarp that was used to help camouflage the murder in the garden. At some point, someone got it from the Biolab and took it over there. We got the tarp. Okay, Makoto, I'm done. Already? Geez, that was fast.
Indeed.
Anyone can do good work if they go slow. In that spirit, I'll make my report brief. So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I paid careful attention to the wounds and the traces of blood, and it seems highly likely that the stomach wound and blow to the back of the head were inflicted after death. Really? The burnt tissue made things a little difficult, but I'm completely confident in my findings. So that means neither of those were the fatal injury, right? Then what was the fatal injury? Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim has been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. The only other option is those other wounds, but the file said they were old.
Is that right?
Where does it say they're old? Huh?
Because...
All the Monokuma file says is that they were inflicted at least several days ago. I guess I don't see the difference.
Wrong.
Well, the difference is immense, considering the impression they give. You seem to be equating several days old with simply old. But that doesn't quite follow logically. Old wounds makes it sound like they've been there forever, like they're not related to the murder. Are you saying they are? But we all got the Monokuma file right after she was killed, right? So if the wounds were at least a few days old, there's no way they could have had anything to do with it. But what if Mukuro herself wasn't killed within the last few days? What? Certainly, you can allow it as one of the many possibilities, can't you? One of many? A detective doesn't have supernatural powers. There's no way to predict the answer from the beginning. Instead, the ideal detective begins by imagining as many possible scenarios as they can. They envision these possibilities without prejudice, without bias, using only their logic and common sense. Then, as they investigate, they test what they find against each of these possibilities. Of course, me telling you this doesn't mean you'll be any good at detective work. But beyond using that to solve this particular mystery, you should keep it in mind for the future. And we got Kyoko's account. So, if there's anything else you'd like to know about the condition of the body, now's the time. Come to think of it, there was one thing. Earlier, when I was looking at Mukuro's profile, it listed her height and weight.
So...
5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds, vitals were 31, 22, 32. Did I get all that right? You remembered all that? They're indeed consistent with the corpse. So then.
Indeed.
And don't forget about the Fenrir tattoo, there's absolutely no mistake. Our victim in this case is without a doubt Mukuro Ikusaba. You got Mukuro Ikusaba's profile.
And
Is that all you wanted to ask? Yeah, I think so. Then it looks like we have no further business with Mukuro's body. Let's get going. It's kind of chilly in here. Oh, wait, are we not going to put the body back? Don't you think it's kind of sad leaving it out like this?
Why?
Sad. Did you forget? She was our enemy once. A part of the ultimate despair. But she got killed. She's still a victim.
Hey,
Have you ever heard the phrase, you reap what you sow? Well, yeah, but still. You really are naive, you know that? It's really quite appalling. Oh, bullshit. She finds that attractive, I'm sure. But she could have abandoned me, but she decided to help me instead. So for someone like that, what does it mean to be naive? I think we've done all we can do here. Back to our separate investigations, yes? Ah, hold on. I still have one more thing to do. Something I need to talk to Kyoko about. Alright, the pocketbook. I need to ask her about the pocketbook I found in that locker. If I don't do it now. Okay, why don't we just... I don't know why the game doesn't just automatically do that. Hey, Kyoko. I did have one last thing. I know I shouldn't, but I feel like I have to ask. Go ahead then, out with it. Have you really not seen your dad even once since you got here? What? What do you mean? Well, you know all those lockers in the second floor of the dorms?
Indeed.
I do, yes. But to get into any of the lockers, you need the handbook of whoever the locker belongs to. Actually, I managed to get them open using that emergency handbook. The one you found in the headmaster's hidden room. So, did you find anything worthwhile in the lockers? I found a pocketbook, and after looking through it, I think it must be your pocketbook. What makes you say that? Like I said, only the locker's owner should be able to get into it, right? I can't imagine those lockers belong to any of us. After all, we only got access to that area just recently. What I'm saying is there's no way I could have had access to any of those lockers. And if I did have a pocketbook, why would I bother putting it in a locker? Everything you just said makes perfect sense, but there was something written inside. It was about the headmaster, about your father. Could that mean that video is real too? Video? Makoto, I think everything is finally starting to fit together to reveal a cohesive picture. Although, I'm afraid that picture might be worse than anything we could have imagined. What are you talking about? I need to go investigate those lockers, right now. I need to confirm what you just said with my own 2 eyes. Oh, let me give you the headmaster's handbook, that way you can... That won't be necessary. If I'm right about this, I shouldn't have any problem opening the locker with my own handbook. After all, it would seem that it's my locker. Your locker? If you watch this, it'll all make sense. A DVD, and it says Class 78, Urgent Interviews? I found it in that hidden room after you left. I don't have time to explain exactly what I think it means, so just watch it and see for yourself. I think you'll realize exactly what it means. You'll understand why you found my pocketbook in a place none of us have ever seen before. None of this makes sense right now. But I guess that means there's some important clue on this DVD. We got interview DVD. Oh, and now it's my turn. Do you have a second to listen to me ramble? Ramble? So as it turns out, the arrangements I made didn't stick. What I mean is, I'm less and less sure of everything, even my own feelings. You're talking about your dad, right? I can never find the answers to the questions I wanted to ask for the rest of my life. And all because the mastermind.
However...
But there's one thing I am sure of. When it comes to the mastermind, there's no room in my heart for forgiveness. I swore to destroy the mastermind. This is just one more reason to follow through on that. Kyoko's eyes burned with the fire of determination. The determination to defeat the mastermind. It's strange to be confronted with his death and suddenly feel this way. I couldn't care less if my father had found happiness. So why is it? Why does it bother me so much to know he had suffered? It's ridiculous. There's just no understanding it, I guess. She let out a small laugh as she said it, but her smile was filled with sorrow. So, that's it for my rambling. There's still so much to do before I can consider my task complete. Yeah, you're right. But keep this in mind. There is only one absolute truth. Whether that truth serves justice or suffering. Whether it's the greatest truth or the worst. What do you mean? Even if the truth you uncover is filled with hopelessness, you still can't give up hope. Absolutely not, because all I can do is keep moving forward. That's pretty much all I'm good at, you know? Indeed. Sorry if that was strange. Anyway, I need to get going. I'll see you at the class trial. Leaving behind that final farewell, Kyoko was gone. I better get going myself. I got that DVD from Kyoko. I should head to the AV room to check it out. Kyoko said something about hopeless truth. But no matter what happens, I won't lose hope. Even if it's the worst truth in the world. I can't afford to lose. Well, in that case, we better head on to the AV room. Oh wait, I think that was... Yeah, it's over here. This is where all the nerds hang out too. Play their fucking Dungeons and Dragons. This should be able to play DVDs just fine. I'll bet if there's the Rick rolls on that DVD. Well then, I better take a look. I took the DVD Kyoko gave me and put it in the player. It said that it was playing, but nothing appeared on the screen. I stared into the black of the monitor. It must have only been a few seconds, but to me it felt like an eternity. And then, all of a sudden, an image appeared. Sayaka! It took me by total surprise. I hadn't seen Sayaka in who knows how long, and there she was.
Okay then, are you ready to begin?
The voice I heard was of the man positioned on one side of the screen. It was the voice of a middle-aged man.
I do apologize, but I hope you don't mind if I record our conversation. I'm a little slow, you know. I never really got the hang of taking notes while having a conversation.
It sounded like he was trying to make a joke, but Sayaka's tense face didn't move a single millimeter.
So this video is meant to serve as a kind of contract substitute.
We call this the casting
I don't
couch.
trust you guys. It's more like insurance. So please don't worry too much. Now then.
You do want to be a model, right?
Straight to the point. There is a chance that you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
This is fine. You want me to accept that? Sayaka was obviously at a total loss. It made total sense. Who would agree to spending the rest of your life in this school? I accept. What?
Thank you. And I'm sorry about all this.
It's just kind of weird how, like, he's the only one doing voice acting and she voice acted, like, a part of her lines.
As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, I give you my word.
Alright, well that's pretty weird. As if on cue, that's where the video cut out. There was a lot I hadn't understood up till now. But this, only this. I simply couldn't comprehend what I'd heard. Because I know how much Sayaka wanted to get out of here. I know how much she wanted to escape and pursue her dreams with her friends again. She wanted that so bad. She tried to frame me for murder. So why? Why would she say yes to living here for the rest of her life? As I sat there thinking about it, I noticed a sudden light. On the monitor, the video that I thought was finished flashed back on screen. My eyes darted back to the screen. And if I was confused before, what I saw next pushed me right over the edge. Oh shit. Huh? What I saw was me. Impossibly, undeniably me.
So, Makoto, before we begin,
I would like to confirm that you are a total faggot.
our conversation. Yes.
Me and the headmaster were looking at each other. He and I were having what seemed like a fairly normal conversation. But I, the I in the here and now, had absolutely no memory of it. I had no memory of even meeting the headmaster, much less sitting down to talk to him like this.
Now, shall we get straight to the point? Makoto, there's a chance you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
This is fine.
Yes.
This can't be real. I said yes?
I'm sorry I'm putting you through all this.
Well, I mean,
Sorry, not sorry.
don't have much of a choice, do we?
But I promise that as long as you're in
Ah,
this
Brass
school,
Papenbrook, the
I will
Titans have
protect you
invaded. We don't have much of a
protect
choice
you.
but to stay cooped up in this school.
as the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, that's the very least I can do for you.
I must kill all the Titans. Once again, the video cut out. From there, the video repeated the same scene again and again with the others. Byakuya. Toko. Hina. Everyone. They all said they agreed to live in the school forever. And then... oh, damn. Kyoko. Her interview with him had been recorded just as clearly. Without a doubt, she had met him. She sat down with the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, her father. And when he asked her his question, she answered the same way as everyone else. She accepted a life within the school. Just as Kyoko's interview was wrapping up. The monitor suddenly went black. Huh? It wasn't just the monitor. The DVD player itself had apparently turned off. Which of course meant the DVD player wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened? Oopsie! Looks like it broke! Out of service! What? It just so happened to break just now? Now then, when doesn't matter. Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right? Failure my ass, you cut the power on purpose. Well, whatever. Even if I watched the whole thing, it'd just be more of the same. He'd ask them the question, and they'd all say yes. I couldn't help myself. I let out a huge exasperated sigh, but as I did, I remembered something.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect. Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine that it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. A convenient outcome. Something that seemed to obviously work in favor of the mastermind. So does that mean I've lost my memory too? What about the others? Have we all forgotten? Or... you got interview DVD. Uh-oh. It is time! The final battle must commence!
For anything that has a start, there has to be an end. And if the end comes, then that means it's time for a fresh start.
Whatever that means!
There is no night that doesn't have a dawn.
Yes.
Although that dawn is totally pitch black, there is no storm that won't eventually...
Although then there's a hurricane!
Of course, then that leads to drought. But as I said, every end is the promise of a new beginning.
Where everyone dies!
Which is why I'm sure...
End of Evangelion must be the Monokuma's favorite movie.
...is only the beginning. Anyway...
You guys remember that scene where he was choking Asuka? That was fucking great!
The beginning of the end of the class trial. Everyone gather once again at you know where.
I'm sure you do! Boo-hoo! Boo-hoo! It's about to begin again. The class trial is going to start. The final class trial. The last time all our lives will be on the line. The last time hope and despair are on the line. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Okay then. This is the end. Final battle, go. Monokuma. You will die. I guess I'm the first one this time.
Makoto.
You're early, Makoto. Does this mean you feel prepared? Yeah, for now at least. But where's everyone else? Why aren't they here yet? Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be here soon. And just like she said. Look, all our friends. Byakuya. Don't talk to me, you asshole. Byakuya? Nobody likes you. They arrived, one after the other. But they were all in the same state of shock. Hina? Hiro? Silence. And it wasn't any normal silence. It was the deafening silence of fear and suspicion. It was like the first class trial.
You called for me and so I appear.
You're a murderer, aren't you, Makoto? I'm late. Whatever that means. Ah, strong silent master is so wonderful, so cool, so hot. My loins are ablaze. Now listen, everything will be just fine if you leave it to me. With my sharp scissors in hand, I'll stab and gouge and shiv the Master of Evil. But I thought you couldn't kill anyone but adorable little boys. If it's what the Master wants, I can be a boy, girl, or anything in between. I can handle it. Ew. Sometimes the Master wants me to be a guy, and I accept it. Where am I? No human language can describe the disappointment I'm feeling right now. Is everyone here? Oh, ooh, and wearing our gloomy gust faces, I see. Okay, well then, let's begin. This final class trial is gonna be slathered in pitch black despair, maximum sorrow.
That's fine.
You're right, this is the final class trial, and this time it'll be fair. What do you mean, this time? Stop with all the slander. I'm a bear in good standing, you know? If there was a Mr. Fair Guy universe contest, I'd take home the tiara every year. I'm gonna win this game super fair and square. And I'll make sure everyone watching at home knows that despair is mightier than the hope. Enough of your tedious drivel. Begin the trial already. Sure, let's begin the trial already. I'll be waiting for you down below. So don't try and run away. Laughing as loud as ever, Monokuma disappeared. Whatever. This will be over in no time. With an inexplicable confidence, Byakuya was the first into the elevator. One by one, the others followed. What the fuck is going on? Nobody made eye contact. Nobody said a word. They just disappeared into the elevator.
Hey.
They're all acting odd. Like they're paranoid, suspicious of each other. But you know why that is, don't you? Yeah, I think so. Well, you can tell us about it soon. At the class trial. You're right, I'm ready. Ready to win, right? Of course. I'm glad to hear you say that. And then Kyoko was aboard the elevator. Up, climb aboard the rape train! I started making my way toward the opening. Step after step toward the gaping maw. I'd resolved that this would be the last time. I repeated to myself that there was no fear, no mystery left. I pushed the anxiety down, calmed my trembling body, and finally, on steady legs, I passed the threshold and stood in the elevator. Without warning, it began to descend. Deeper and deeper, deeper still. Deeper and deeper and deeper it fell. I think we get it, it fell pretty deep. Too deep for you. I closed my eyes and sight fell away. And sound too disappeared. Alone in the universe, I waited for the elevator doors to open for the last time. What could have been seconds or centuries later. If I felt the gentle vibrations of the elevator come to an end. I slowly opened my eyes. This is the final trial site? What do you think? Isn't it just the perfect background for deciding a person's fate? It's the long-awaited last stage, the always exciting final boss battle. And I'm gonna sit in on this one. I'll just sit right here in this vacant 16th seat. Well then, let's begin!